Up next on UBC, brought to you by
Airtel. Download Airtel TV to watch and support Ugandan talent on The Voice Africa every Sunday at 8 p.m.
Hello and welcome to UBC Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi, on sign language, Elizabeth Nakakoni. Let's take a look at the headlines. "300 Ugandan nationals evacuated from Sudan through Ethiopia." Inspector General of Police directs disciplinary action against 11 police officers. Physical Infrastructure Committee wants government to increase budget for roads in Kampala city. And the Victoria Pearls headed to Namibia for quadrangular series. We apologize for starting a bit away from the time, but let's get started. Uganda has succeeded to evacuate 300 nationals from Sudan after a fight erupted in the Sudan capital, Khartoum. The war resulting from a power struggle within Sudan's military leadership has been described as catastrophic and frustrating. UBC TV talked to Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, John Mulimba, who reveals that a move to evacuate Ugandans from Sudan has gained a success.
A second week of fight within the military leadership in Sudan has left many antagonisms which are not near to end. As a neighboring country, Uganda is closely monitoring.
We're also aware that we have a number of our citizens who are working in the Republic of Sudan. And as a neighbor, suddenly whatever happens there affects us very gravely, even if there are no economic and commercial ties. But being a neighbor, the fighting having erupted during the time of Ramadan, and innocent lives, Africans losing life, it means something great to us.
John Mulimba, the State Minister for Foreign Affairs, describes the situation as catastrophic and reveals that Uganda is diplomatically analyzing the fight and efforts to secure a profitable mechanism to respond is not in silence.
We have defense, we have strategic plans on responding to disasters, but that cannot be crafted in iron. We must make sure that the flexibility is adopted to respond as and when the situation provides.
Since the fight erupted, foreign countries with nationals in Sudan are evacuating their nationals out of Sudan through Ethiopia. Uganda, in a statement issued by her embassy in Sudan, shows that 300 Uganda nationals have been secured and will return home.
You cut off internet, you limit communication. It's therefore difficult to establish the actual numbers. But so far, those that we have confirmed, about 300, who are either working in our missions, who are working with different entities in Khartoum and neighboring cities, and also who are doing business in the Sudan.
The fight, which has entered second week, is concentrated in areas of Khartoum and Darfur between paramilitary support forces and Sudan armed forces.
But using the principle of Pan-Africanism, yes, we are alert and we are conscious about securing our borders, but we're also very conscious about the suffering which is being meted out on Africans and other people on the continent of Africa. So yes, we respond to securing our borders, but we also would like as much as possible, which is one of our commitments as a country, to responding to any situation that can bring about suffering, especially death, to the people of Africa, with the view of bring about peace and security.
Last week, the Intergovernmental Authority on Development urged both sides to dialogue and ordered that the fight should stop happening in civilian inhabited areas and open humanitarian corridors.
Uganda has also reached out to call to all parties to cease hostilities and respect and give space to diplomatic means. But also the African Union The African heads of states have made a statement and designated heads of states of Djibouti, head of state of Kenya, and that of Burundi to lead in the peace process, to try to put into the warring parties that actually there is life after all this, and you can come together and talk peace.
It is uncertain when the situation is likely to settle in Sudan. Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
The First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has said she looks forward to further partnering with UN Women to empower the young people of Uganda. The First Lady, a champion for adolescent girls, and the Protect the Girls, Save the Nation campaign to mobilize against the escalating cases of teenage pregnancies in Uganda, welcomed UN Women's support to programs that empower the youth.
First Lady met the country representative of UN Women, Paulina Chiwango, who paid a courtesy call on her at State House Nakasero, together with her personal assistant, Elizabeth Mushabe, briefed the minister on programs they are currently engaged in and which they can do together with the Office of the First Lady. These include the Second Chance Education Program for vulnerable and marginalized adolescent girls and young women. The other area of collaboration pointed out is the combination HIV prevention strategy for adolescents and young women. Mrs. Museveni said the ministry has a policy that allows girls who have dropped out of school because of pregnancy to go back to school for normal education, and therefore she is eager to collaborate with UN Women in this effort. She also thanked the UN Women for coming on board the nationwide campaign to address defilement, child marriage, teenage pregnancy, as well as promoting positive parenting that is championed by her, together with the Vice President and the Prime Minister.
Among so much, we can always focus on what we agreed on and do together. We are thankful for where you can support us, so we can continue to do this. And I have no doubt in my mind that you'll find we will do better by becoming more than becoming few. We welcome you and welcome your support and goodwill to work with us in this country. And I have no doubt that we will support more of our youth, we will support more of our communities if we continue to work together. So I can't thank you enough. Bring your experience to us and we'll build on it and we'll continue to hold hands to do better what we are trying to do.
Under this campaign, the ministry, in partnership with the Office of the African First Ladies for Development, have so far conducted 3 regional youth summits for student leaders in the Central Region, Eastern Region, and Southwestern Region. The summits that run under the theme My Life, My Responsibility focus on promoting life skills training to enable young people to take charge of their lives by making the right choices. The UN Women Organization was created in July 2010 and the Uganda office was opened in 2011. The UN Women is currently engaged in various programs including governance, women economic empowerment, ending gender-based violence, women peace and security, second chance education, prevention of HIV/AIDS, ending female genital mutilation, and humanitarian action.
We work on governance areas where we work very close with government, like Ministry of Gender. We work with also your ministry, your Excellence Minister of Education. We also work with Ministry of Health. We work with Ministry of Agriculture. We work also with Ministry of Defense. For governance, we also work with women parliamentarians, not just women, men as well, parliamentarians, UOPA. And we also work on women economic empowerment. We work on women peace and security and humanitarian action. We also work on ending violence against women.
She pointed out the alarming statistics of teenage pregnancies in the East African region and said that UN Women is working with traditional and community leaders in Uganda to see how this problem can be addressed, and the girls supported. Elizabeth Mushabe explained that UN Women also joins other stakeholders in the fight against HIV/AIDS through the combination HIV prevention strategy, where they endeavor to first understand the push factors for adolescents and young women to HIV risky behaviors, and then try to address them. Biti Bisangwa, the Executive Director, Organization of African First Ladies for Development, said that the relationship between UN Women and OFLA goes back to the times when the First Lady championed the successful elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV/AIDS campaign. Reporting for UBC, Bagma William.
And 11 police officers have been committed to the Professions Standard Unit for disciplinary action against the violation of human rights in the line of duty. These officers, who include the RPC and DPC of Buvuma, are accused of assaulting the Buvuma woman member of parliament and her supporters while dispersing alleged unlawful gatherings.
In circulating videos, police officers under the command of the Sezwa acting RPC, Superintendent of Police Kasese Jamal, are seen harassing people while dispersing them for violating the law on illegal assembly.
But surprisingly, the Honorable Nakaziba Susan defied the guidance that she was given and tried to hold celebrations at Chanja in Wema sub-county, where she was blocked for failure to comply with the guidelines, first of all from the Minister of Gender.
Police arrested Buvuma District Woman MP Nakaziba Susan Mugabi, the convener of the Women's Day celebrations and supporters.
That captured some of our officers using excessive force during the arrest of some of the suspects in Buvuma.
The IGP has instructed the Police Professional Standards Unit to take disciplinary action against the 11 officers who manhandled the woman MP and other attendees.
As a result, we've summoned the 11 officers who have first of all been removed from their duties and asked to report to the Professional Standards Unit headquarters for further investigations. This includes the acting RPC, Superintendent of Police Kasese Jamal, the DPC Buvuma, SP Bagole Michael, and the other commanders that were below them, Assistant Inspector of Police Odeke Francis, Corporal Wamanga David, Police Constable Balim. The list of 11 is here.
Meanwhile, police have confirmed the completion of investigations in the Ansheet scandal and more files have been submitted to the office of the DPP for guidance.
We are now waiting for the DPP to evaluate the evidence on the remaining case files and come up with appropriate conclusions that will guide our next course of action.
In Kasese district, security have arrested 3 suspected ADF remnants, recovered 3 guns and 70 rounds of ammunition.
Because of the firepower and the hot pursuit by the UPDF in the DRC, the pressure has piled up on the ADF, and some of them are trying really to filter and sneak back into the country. So these arrests and recoveries are a strong reminder that the joint security agencies will never stop pursuing those who plan and execute acts of terrorism in Uganda.
In the police crime report during the Eid Day celebrations, 39 major cases were registered, 24 deaths and 25 arrests were made. Abdul Nasir Lawama and Komagum Rogers for UBC.
Meanwhile, members of the Physical Infrastructure Committee want government to increase the budget for road reconstruction and maintenance in Kampala City. This follows a public outcry over potholes which inconvenience road users. The MPs, led by the committee chairperson David Karubanga, echoed this while ascertaining the extent of the problem on some major roads in all city divisions.
It is the beginning of yet Another day of oversight for members of the Infrastructure Committee of Parliament. The focus this time is on the potholes, whose inconvenience has turned into a public outcry.
Let them resign.
This is the concern members of Parliament want to ascertain. The situation on 6th and 7th Streets in Namuwongo speaks volumes of what road users are complaining about.
Government yewe Kasese sente. Kasese ene kola tengudo wati baba sente.
It is evident here on Tank Hill Road in Muyenga, near Kabalagala, both suburbs of Kampala in Makindye East Division.
Accident nyingi nyo wano kati wadde bantu medde wano abantu bajja mu ambulance bafiira mu kkubo emmotoka z'abantu zoonooneka ffe tukyalina buweerero tulinga abali mu kyalo.
Members of Parliament are equally concerned, especially after driving through Kampala Central to Bombo Road all the way to Sir Apollo Kagwa Road.
Of course, what is very clear and evident is that the roads are all in horrible situation.
So it's high time we prioritize Kampala as the face of this country, as our city, because all of us live in this city, and the roads are very bad.
So as a committee, we are moving to make that assessment so that we can provide adequate money to KCCA for the repairs of these pothole roads.
Other than quantity and boasting over a number of roads, they also want quality road works. They recommend both repairs and reconstruction.
Some roads will be maintained between maintenance and periodic maintenance, but some will need full reconstruction.
We warned this 1 year ago during the budgetary session. People did not take it serious. Now they are paying the cost.
More funds on roads, and then 2, prioritize quality compared to quantity.
KCCA must be given money to make sure that we rehabilitate our roads and have a city that looks like a city.
As national water is also faulted for negligence over manholes, the answer to potholes in Kampala remains increased funding.
We have seen a lot of manholes that are open. It's an embarrassment for an entity like National Water to leave manholes open. These are rooms for accident. Some of them are even being used as dustbin areas, dumping areas. So National Water should also wake up.
Of course, we allocated 10 billion, but we trust that Parliament will, in its wisdom, after inspecting and recognizing the challenges we face, are going to review the allocation decisions of the program working groups and change the situation so that we can be able to turn around the infrastructure situation in the city.
How soon this will be answered depends on government, whose Minister for Kampala is due to make a statement to Parliament on Tuesday. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Now, the National Economic Empowerment Dialogue Party wants Parliament to scrutinize the returned anti-homosexuality bill. The party spokesperson Moses Matovu told a weekly press conference at Kabusu that this will fix potential gaps of future nullifications once signed into law. Matovu requested President Museveni to ignore fears of looming hard economic times and assent to the bill.
Knowingly enable a certain group of people to go to court and annul this act, just in case it is signed into law. So, we are calling upon the Parliament to be very vigilant while discussing this matter, to close all the loopholes because we want the law. President Museveni should sign the bill into a law at whatever cost. We Ugandans are ready for anything, for the consequences, for purposes of saving the future of this country. But again, the government should not be worried. Mr. Museveni should not be worried. There are other sources where we can get money.
And Forum for Democratic Change Party, FDC, has reiterated the fundamental right for bail, citing Article 23(6) of the 1995 Constitution, emphasizing that as a party they believe this because any accused person under Article 28 of Uganda's Supreme Law is presumed innocent until proven guilty. The deputy spokesperson FDC, John Chikonyogo, says the legal fraternity must condemn the state under which court denied the husband of Honorable Margaret Kitutu from standing surety for his wife based on financial statements.
But as FDC, we are more concerned about the rights of Ugandans. To date may be the minister, but at one stage, all the 20 ministers will have gone through court and they take you there, one of you there. And they will use that precedent, which they have said, to deny you bail. As if this will protest the exorbitant bail conditions that have been slapped on these ministers. They may be on the wrong side, as far as we are concerned, but we have to be very careful. Whenever precedent is set in court, it can apply to you tomorrow. Someone brings 7 sureties, high caliber sureties. How many of you here can get them if you are behind, if you are in that dock? 7. And all of them must bring their bank statements. And you know those bank statements should not have very few millions. Why all those conditions? You know pretty well, you need only 2 or 3 sureties. So we are inviting the Chief Justice and the Minister of Justice to look into this. If you looked at Madam Chitutu, Honorable Chitutu, I don't know in which country where someone can tell you that your husband cannot force you to go back to court just because he doesn't have enough money on his account. What type of condition is that? And it's pretty clear from our constitution that applying for bail is a fundamental human right. Do these exhibits as they have been doing it, all of us will gain out of it. And it was even a learning process. A good number of these potholes, all of us had never seen them. Where even a car can half sink in it. Ugandans are taken, I don't care attitude. You don't cry. Imagine bring a...
Well, with that, we take a quick break. When we return, more details. This is News Tonight.
Jerry con. Jerry con. Hey, Master Blaster. Touch him, man. Bang Jerry con with muscle. Those ones who say go for you only. Mundava. Best group is I teach you. When I'm going to the Muscari, because of the camera is very far. Is you serious? Is serious you? What can I work? Yeah? You step it on it. Add kilometers to your legs, and you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru, and Umaru refused to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru, Jerry car.
Okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako, n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, Find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
Iwakato, this is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100*1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, under the auspices of the East African Community, will host the 10th East African Petroleum Conference and Exhibition 2023 from the 9th to the 11th of May 2023 at the Kampala Serena Hotel in Uganda. Take full advantage of the investment opportunities in the East African region's vibrant oil and gas sector. To find out more on how to sponsor, exhibit, or attend the 10th EAPCE 23, visit www.eapce23.eac.int.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom voice bundles that don't expire. Dial *100*21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
It's the encounters with our majestic gorillas. The thrill of taking on the falls of the Nile River. The joy of discovering new traditions and a lot more. Join us at the 2023 Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo from the 26th to the 29th of April at the Commonwealth Resort, Munyonyo. Rediscover our country's uniqueness and see what the tourism sector has in store for you. Visit www.poate.co.ug to secure your spot and get set to learn, network, and explore. The Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo is brought to you by the Uganda Tourism Board in partnership with Competitiveness and Enterprise Development Projects. Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
Their support meant so much to me, and as a teenage girl, I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Tonight. High Court Criminal Division has acquitted Karungi Abubakar, one of the suspects in the murders of ASP Mohammed Chirumira and Resting Nali Nyambabazi. In her judgment, Judge Margaret Mutonyi said prosecution failed to produce evidence to prove to court that Abubakar Karungi was involved in the killing of Afande Chirumira and that the confessional statement alleged was recorded after torture.
State anywhere that he knew.
The accused Abubakar Karungi, who was facing trial in the High Court Criminal Division in the murder of ASP Mohammed Chirumira and Nari Nyareste, was at 11:30 a.m. already in court to receive a judgment from the presiding Judge Margaret Mutonyi. Judge Margaret Mutonyi said prosecution failed to produce evidence against Abubakar Karungi, not even pressing him at the scene of crime to commit the alleged murder of ASP Mohammed Chirumira. She also added that There was contradiction in the evidence from the prosecution.
The eyewitness mentions 2 motorcycles with 2 riders on each, and they all actively participated in the murder. The first one shooting in the air to scare off anyone and the cars from approaching the murder scene, while the other was shooting directly at the deceased.
Judge Muton also ruled that the statement made by witness AIP Walimbwa Stephen from the accused Kalungi Abubeka was illegally recorded, since it was recorded in English, while the accused knew Luganda.
There is no evidence that he explained to him in a language he understands, yet he boasted of over 30 years' experience as a police detective.
Court also added that the accused Kalungi was forced to confess that he killed ASP Muhammad Chirumira and Nali Nyareste after he had been tortured.
The accused denied participating in the gruesome murder and denied having made any voluntary confession in regard to participation in the alleged murder.
Court, however, accused prosecution for failure to prove its case by placing the ADF terrorists in the killing
on the ingredient of participation, as it relied on fanciful speculation that it was the ADF rebels that killed the 2 deceased persons, without even adducing any evidence linking the accused to ADF rebels.
However, court condemned police for killing one Abdallah Kateregga, who was the alleged prime suspect in this matter. Judge Margaret Muton acquitted Abubeka Kalungi of the murder of ASP Muhammad Chirumira and Nali Nyareste.
She did not have details of the subscribers of the numbers, yet documentary evidence must speak for itself. Nothing of significance was adduced in court to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the subscribers or users of the numbers under investigations were Kalungi the accused and the one Kateregga.
ASP Muhammad Chirumira and Nali Nyareste Mbabas were murdered on 8th September 2018 around Blenge, Kampala suburb.
Considered the law as it is and found that whatever was brought, including charge and caution statement, was a mere piece of paper. So we are happy that justice has prevailed.
Basing on the decision of court, there is no doubt that prosecution has failed to prove its case before court. But the question remains, who murdered ASP Muhammad Chirumira and Nali Nyareste? Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
The High Court in Kampala has upheld Mohamed Nsereko's victory as the duly elected Member of Parliament for Kampala's central seat. This followed, court dismissed with costs NUP's Fred Nyanzi's election petition that he filed against Mohamed Nsereko challenging his victory. Meanwhile, High Court has dismissed with costs an election petition filed by Kayanja de Paul challenging Rulinda Fabrice Brad's victory for Entebbe Municipality mayoral seat.
Nopo's Fred Nyas presented grounds of vote bribery, ballot stuffing. However, the respondents, Mohamed Nsereko and the Electoral Commission, refuted all the allegations. Judge Jasebya Luhanga's ruling, read by the Deputy Registrar High Court Civil Division, Jamson Kalimani, Nopo's Fred Nyanzi's petition was dismissed on grounds that he failed to produce evidence proving the allegations of vote bribery and ballot stuffing.
There is no evidence adduced to the satisfaction of this court of any electoral offence committed by the third respondent, and all in all, the first, second, and third issues are all resolved in favor of the respondents.
Court also ordered Fred Nyanzi to pay costs to the respondents and declared Mohamed Nsereko as a duly elected Member of Parliament for Kampala Central.
It really teaches us that it is not easy for one to lose an election and rushes to court without credible and cogent evidence. So we appreciate the Electoral Commission. And remember, this is a retrial. These two matters arose from the Court of Appeal directive that the matters be retried.
Mohamed Nsereko told the media that he was pleased with the court's decision.
As legislators, nothing shall deter us. We thank our voters, we thank our supporters, we thank our people. But to our countrymen outside there, the expectations you have in us is service delivery. For the people who pay taxes in Kampala, not to see potholes, that when we stand on the floor of Parliament, that we challenge people based on facts.
Sauda Nsereko was counsel for Muhammad Nsereko, while Paul Kakande represented NUPU's Freddie Nyanzi. In the 2021 Kampala Central Member of Parliament race, the Electoral Commission declared Muhammad Nsereko winner with 16,998 votes against NUPU's Freddie Nyanzi with 15,975 votes. Meanwhile, High Court has also confirmed Ruhindi Fabrice Bland as a duly elected mayor for Entebbe municipality. Judge Sabia Luhanga dismissed Kayanja Depo's petition challenging Lulinda Fabrice Bland victory for Entebbe municipality.
The judgment was found merely hypothetical and more of speculation, as there is no empirical evidence provided by the petitioner to support the same. Non-electronic display of election results by the Electoral Commission. No evidence was laid as to how this affected the results, the treatment of the petitioner, and in any case, though this is one of the tools used in the electoral exercise, it is not part of the electoral materials which are envisaged under any of the electoral laws.
According to court, Kayanja Depo failed to prove allegations that acquired standards and degree of proof to court. DP's Kayanja Depo, in filing this petition, alleged vote bribery from 10 polling stations, that even some votes were not declared by the returning officer, among other grounds. Court dismissed the petition, with costs to the respondents.
The issue of costs is secondary. First of all, he also has to pay me costs in the Court of Appeal. And prior to this, there is a moment he made allegations that I'm spoiling his reputation, and he billed me 200 million. So I can't be afraid over issues of costs. I think justice has an allowance for going for an appeal, and I'm going for an appeal.
In Entebbe municipality mayoral race, Lulinda Fabrice Bland garnered 6,703 votes against DP's Kayanja Depo with 5,576 votes. Deborah Nama Monde, Natongo Rebecca, UBC News.
And the pre-trial hearing of murder offences, terrorism and attempted murder against legislators Mohamed Segirinya and Alan Sewanyana and their co-accused persons at the International Crimes Division in Kololo has flopped. It follows an application of stay of trial proceedings filed by city lawyer Malema Birizi against the accused persons until the constitutional petition of consolidation of files is determined.
Legislators Mohamed Segirinya and Alan Sewanyana and co-accused persons have again appeared at the International Crimes Division Court in Kololo before Justice Isko Muhanji to proceed with the pre-trial hearing of the offences against them. They are facing murder, terrorism, and attempted murder cases. However, due to absence of electricity in court, the pre-trial proceeded in camera in the justices' chambers. The accused's lawyers told journalists after court that the pre-trial hearing did not proceed due to the application filed by Stella Malema Birizi of staying proceedings.
Applications arising out of that case, which were filed by one Mabirizi, and for as long as they prevail before court, the matter out of which they arise cannot proceed. Those applications are two. One is for stay of the proceedings, pending the constitutional petition that he filed. We also filed a similar application, but his is going to be hard. It's a test suit because they are similar in nature, and his came first in time.
Lawyer Samuel Muizi also highlighted an accused's need to regain their passports.
Their right of movement was not curtailed by the court, as it's a constitutional right anyway, but they have to give reasons. If the court finds them sufficient, then court would temporarily release their passports. We are yet to appear before the registrar of this honorable court to make that application.
Court resumes on 15th May 2023. For mention, legislators Mohamed Segirinya and Alan Sewanyana's bail was extended and their co-accused persons were remanded. Rebecca Natongo, UBC News.
Police in Lira City have intervened in a planned student demonstration by government-sponsored students of Lira University who were protesting the merging of allowances of about 1.4 million. They have only received 720,000 shillings. They want the university administration to pay their full allowances.
Government-sponsored students at Lira University organized a demonstration and carried placards expressing their grievances to the university administration. They were protesting the half pay of 720,000 shillings out of the 1.4 million merged allowances.
A delay of living out allowance, missing of internship allowance and research fee for the government students, of which these are the privileges and the entitlements for government students in public universities in Uganda.
For the 2 years I've been around, this university has never engaged in any sports activity. 1,218 students of Lira University, they pay 20,000. There is no accountability. The pitch is rigged itself. 25%.
The placards also raised issues on corruption, abuse of office by the Dean of Students, lack of security lights that had made the university insecure. The guild allocated 14 million in August, but till now the lights are not installed.
Our own money, which is not university money, it is the guild fee, which is the students' contribution. Why don't you install for us the rights?
But as they head to the administration block, the demonstrating students were stopped by the DPC Lira City, who later calmed the hungry students into an emergency meeting.
Your grievances will be heard.
Yes.
Okay?
Let's listen.
The university VC told UBC that the challenges are a result of government-limited funding.
Started with the Kampala University. But you gave us money for 100 students. But we now have 400 students on government sponsorship. Same story when it came to Lira University. It means the money is effectively halved, broken into two. Because all of them are coming to live under the same conditions. Sometimes you must be polite.
We requested for additional funding, nothing. The third year we got another cohort. We requested for additional funding, nothing. At what time we're being tempted to say, maybe we stop receiving government-sponsored students.
I'm expecting you to keep updating these students on any new development.
Eddie Olwa, UBC News.
Meanwhile, one person has died in the Kasese floods after River Nyamwamba burst its banks last night, causing flooding that washed away Kyanjuki Bridge, cutting off some villages. The Kasese District Senior Planner, Joseph Isingoma, knows that some of the most affected areas include Karusandara, Mahokya, Mahango, Bulembea Division, among others.
Residents of Muhocha, Mahonga villages in Kasese district are in fear after River Nyamwamba burst banks last night, causing flooding. One person is reported to have died after drowning. The locals here say since yesterday the floods washed away Kyanjuki Bridge, limiting access to the villages.
Pregnant women, they have to go for antenatal, but they have no means how they can cross to go to Kirempe Mines Hospital.
The Kasese District Senior Planner Joseph Isingoma says affected sub-counties include Karushandra, Muhocha, Mahonga, Bulembea Division, among others.
We received rain beyond normal.
Experts warn that there will be over 70% increase in the rainfall during the April-May season.
Serious rains, even some areas experiencing more than 80 millimeters of rain.
The Vice Chairperson LC5 Kasese District Ham Natweda expresses concern after seeing that the gabions that were being constructed on the river banks of River Nyamwamba were also destroyed.
Keep alert, and we're going to run some adverts on over all those radios. And secondly, people not always cross at night.
Evacuation centers have been set up in different parts of Kasese district to cater for affected victims.
Some evacuation centers to offer temporary resettlement for any victim of a disaster. One is in Karusandara.
Marian Mumcha, Moses Mutabali, UBC News.
And the Kampala Central Division chapter of the Twagalaliwo Muzei Sabalwani NRM mobilization team has been launched at Old Kampala SS Playground. The event was preceded by a community sanitation and general cleaning exercise by the military police and Kampala Capital City Authority.
Kigongo Muhammad Chairman Twagalaliwo Sabalwanyi M7 Sports Gala and the National Chairman of Twagalaliwo. The main reason for this gala is to address the concern of the NRM on ground, to show His Excellency that we are still having morale on ground, and also to thank His Excellency for the prevailing peace given to the nation, that we even export to other countries, and to confirm we are the leading promoters of peace in the country.
Kubanga kyemmanyi nti lipooti eno nina okusooka ogitesewa mukama wange omukutola mama Jeni, ate muzadde, ate yali mu ssente kakati ekyambogowaffe.
Eno ye ttiimu gye bayita Twagalaliwo eyeetegese okwetaba mu kalulu aka 2026 nga yeeteeseteese okukunga abavubuka bonna.
Glow as you are with the new Spark 10 series smartphone from Airtel in partnership with Tecno. Own the timelines with picture-perfect selfies using the 32-megapixel selfie camera, 256GB storage, G88 gaming processor, and a strong battery to last the whole day. Haha! Toakana.
The Spark 10 smartphone comes with free 3GB from Airtel and 100% bonus on weekly and monthly bundles every month for 3 months, so you can stay connected to a world of possibilities. Dial *100*5# to enjoy free data. The new Spark 10 is available in all selected Tecno shops countrywide. Airtel, the smartphone network in partnership with Tecno. Stop at nothing. At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom voice bundles that don't expire. Dial *100*21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
The general public is hereby informed that the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions will hold the Annual Prosecutors Symposium and the 6th Annual Joan Kasese Memorial Lecture from 25th to 28th April 2023. The Annual Prosecutors Symposium is slated for 25th to 27th April 2023 at Imperial Hotel, Kampala, under the theme Effective Prosecution of Organized Crimes to Foster Sustainable Economic Development. The 6th Annual Joan Kasese Memorial Lecture is slated for 28th April 2023 at Speak Resort Monyonyo, starting at 9 a.m. under the theme Organized Crime and the Necessity for Witness Protection. His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, is the chief guest. Physical attendance is by invitation. Please note that all ODPP stations will be closed to the general public during this period.
Jerry Khan.
Jerry card. Hey, Master Blaster. Touch him, man. Jerry can with muscle. Those ones who say go for you only. Mundava. First group is I teach you. When I go with the muscari, because of the cover is very far. Is you serious? It's serious you. What? Yeah? You stay put on it. Add kilometers to your legs. And you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru. And Umaru refuse to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru, Jerry card.
Okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema.
Now in sports, the Victoria Pearls are headed to Namibia for the quadrangular series just hours after they were crowned champions of the 2023 Victoria series.
Come on guys, let's celebrate. We need a big photo to be on the back pages.
There was little time for the Victoria Pearls to celebrate their Victoria Series win as the squad had to head out to Namibia for a quadrangular series. The Pearls, who did not play their final Victoria Series clash with Tanzania due to the persistent bad weather in Kampala, were crowned champions based on their round-robin game points. They had a total of 7 points and a 1.28 net run rate from 4 games, 3 played, 1 washed out, giving them the table leadership. Tanzania came in second, UAE third, Rwanda fourth, and Kenya fifth.
This tournament has been a good one, one of its kind that we had to play all our games, and Rain had to decide who is the winner of the tournament. But as I told you before, Victoria Pearls, we play each match. We don't look down on any team. Each match we play it as if it's the final, and really it has paid us off because topping the table has made us the overall winners of this tournament with the playing conditions favoring whoever tops the table to take the championships.
The winning squad is now in Namibia for a quadrangular series starting April 25th to May 2nd, 2023, and the series will feature Uganda, UAE, Hong Kong, and hosts Namibia. The series will be played in a T20 format with ICC ranking points available for the teams to earn. Grace Joyce Kemgisa, UBC News.
In Kampala, Football Region League has continued at various venues around the Ugandan capital. At the Kings Park Stadium in Boyogerere, Proline Football Club walloped Fire 5-0. The victory was secured courtesy of goals by Eddie Sevandeke, Kevin Obua, Colin Kafumbe and Jerome Teams breasted Tukim atop the Scorpion Group top scorers chart with 17 goals. The victory maintained Proline FC in second position in the Scorpion Group on 37 points. This is just one below table toppers Black Stars, whom they play next Sunday in an eagerly awaited top of the table clash. In other games played in Kampala Region Football League, Lufla and Lukuli Hearts shared the spoils, as did St. Mary's and Water in identical 1-1 score lines. And Zambia beat Edgar's 2-0. Ntinda United outlasted Kazo United 2-1. KJT lost to Wembley, while Black Stars went top the standings with 3-1 win over Sparta. And it's a full house for the Uganda netball team that is undergoing training for the Netball World in July in South Africa. 27 players were part of today's training session. Amaningabo reports.
Despite the ongoing investigations over the mismanagement of funds that led to the Uganda Netball Federation president, Chitio Sara, to step aside, training in preparation for the upcoming Netball World Cup continues. 27 local-based players who were summoned in camp to prepare for the upcoming Netball World Cup all turned up and in good shape. With focus still on coordination and fitness levels, the players trained at Kamocha Community Center grounds.
We are now looking at how we are now working on coordination, trying to understand each other, how to play, and also a lot of efforts is going to put on our defense, because we think we normally concede goals unnecessarily. So we are now going to work on that defense, how we can defend, and also passing the ball. So our passes should be accurate and to the point. Maybe that will give us winning. Keep us winning the games.
And just like the previous tournaments, Uganda will have a few trials before heading for the July 28th games.
As luck and my performance, both of them, because I performed well. That's why they called me on the national team.
My chances are so high that I will make it to the final list compared to the other time, because the other time I think had just come in the league. It was my first season, but this time round it's my second season in the league, and so far, me, according to my observation, have improved.
World Cup hosts South Africa has designated stadiums to host the games. Uganda is in the same group with New Zealand, Trinidad and Tobago, Singapore, familiar faces in the last campaign. The team is set for residential camp in a month's time.
Well, and that does it for news tonight. For now, let's take a quick look at the top stories before we go. "300 Ugandan nationals evacuated from Sudan through Ethiopia." Inspector General Police directs disciplinary action against 11 police officers. While Physical Infrastructure Committee